and they walked away from the commitment. And you've got to, if you're in a commitment, you stay in a commitment. If you get married and have kids, well, guess what? It's 21 years right there. So you can't walk away from it. And if you walk away from it, it causes what we have. And that's it. I mean, basically, you want to get into equality. You don't need to fight for it. You've got it. You have it. Take it. Period. Because I did. And I don't.
What I see, like, I preach fairness more than equality. Like, two things can or cannot be equal, but they can be treated fairly, Like, there's a something like in pay scale, for example, if you're doing this much work, you're going to get this much money. It is not about equality, then it's about fairness then. What is fair and what is not. So I see equality more like that, if the two genders are treated fairly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, now I had, like, in one of the places that I worked, we, see, this is going back. We were not allowed to wear slacks. We were women. We had to wear dresses. And we lived in a climate that was like 30 degrees below zero. And our legs got very cold. And this was a hospital. It was a private hospital. And the nurses wanted to be able to wear slacks. And I thought, this is not a bad idea. My legs would feel good too if I had them covered. And we did a petition. And I took it to my boss. My boss was the administrator. And he said, what am I going to do? He says, you're spearheading this. You're allowing this to come through. So what am I going to say? I'm going to say no, I'll say yes. He said, but there has to be, there's got to be some sort of a, well, like they all wore suits, the men wore suits. So they're saying, well, you ladies have got to, you can't just wear jeans or something like that. Okay, fine. We were happy with it. We got it. And anything that you can get and knowing something that you can't get, then you go around it. Or you settle for it, one or the other.
Yeah.
I've asked in all of my jobs whether or not the income that they were paying me was comparable to if a man was stepping in to do the same job. And I always got, yes, this is what we have. And the guy that worked for me was getting the same money I was getting. So I figured we were getting the same money. I haven't had any job where I would say that the man would get more. Now, when my husband was in the service, I couldn't get help for doing something in the house. So I told my husband, you call them and tell them we need the help. I said, because if I call, they give me, yeah, we'll be there, whatever. I said, you call. And they were there. You got to know what system you're going to work. You want to be the head honcho in a company? Start one. I don't want to be the head honcho, and I am. So, it's like, no, you're the, no, let's just be equal. It's better if you have a team that is equal. And yes, I know. As I said, it comes down to your government. If your government is not willing to say the woman should be making as much money as the man, or the woman knows that she needs more education to get into whatever she wants to do, then, it's not going to happen. We've got to empower ourselves first before we start getting empowerment from someplace else.
Development starts from within.
Well,
I'd also like to know, what was the difference in the condition of women 30, 40 years back, and is there any change in the problems women are facing in modern era and the solution relating to that?
I grew up in New York City. And I grew up in Brooklyn. And when I was 3 years old, I saw somebody get murdered.